Good morning, students. In the last video, we were learning about the biotechnology and we studied that the main techniques of genetic engineering are the creation of recombinant DNA, okay, and then gene cloning, then gene transfer. So these are the different steps or different techniques of the genetic engineering. Now we will learn about why to create the recombinant DNA. Why to create a recombinant DNA? That we will discuss first. Actually, suppose a piece of DNA or a gene somehow transferred into a cell. Most likely in that cell, that piece of DNA or gene would not be replicated and do not pass from one generation to another generation in the progenies, because for the replication of any piece of DNA, there must be the special sequence in the DNA that is called the origin of replication. And that origin of replication initiate the replication process. So any piece of DNA, any foreign DNA or alien DNA, alien we can also say, when somehow entered or transferred into a cell, most likely that piece of DNA would not replicate and will not pass from one generation to another generation. Because what I said, for the replication of any piece of DNA, there must be the origin of replication to initiate the replication. So that alien piece of DNA or foreign DNA must be incorporated or integrated with the host chromosome, and that host chromosome having the origin of replication helps in the replication of that alien piece of DNA. So actually, why we make a recombinant DNA? To provide the origin of replication for that piece of or alien piece of DNA, so that it replicate in the host cell to pass into the progenies, and then that number of that gene or that piece of DNA increases. That is also called the cloning, that the multiple copies of that DNA or that gene also called the cloning, and that is essential for the large scale production of product. Means for the expression of that gene, we can, from the expression of that gene, we can collect the product, we can produce the large scale product in the industries. So that's why we make the recombinant DNA. Recombinant DNA provides the origin of replication. This is the special sequence of bases in the DNA or in the chromosome that initiate the process of replication. So the any alien piece of DNA or foreign DNA must be integrated with the host chromosome, so that host chromosome provides the origin of replication. This is the special sequence in the DNA, and then only that alien piece of DNA or foreign DNA would replicate. That's why we make the recombinant DNA. Now we will discuss about the first instance for the construction of an artificial recombinant DNA. First of all, how the recombinant DNA made by the scientists, now we will discuss. Actually, it was made possible due to the work of two scientists. One is the Boyer, another one is the Cohen. Boyer actually studying the E. coli, and he studied the presence of a couple of restriction enzymes in the E. coli, and also he studied the properties of that restriction enzymes, that restriction enzymes can cut the DNA at a particular point or in a particular fashion, particular order, and leave sticky end and single stranded sticky end, and from that sticky end another piece of DNA can be joined. So this discovery helps in the development or construction of the first recombinant DNA. So this is the Boyer experiment. He was working on the E. coli and he identified a couple of restriction enzymes, and he studied the property of that enzymes, that these enzymes have the capability to cut the DNA at a particular point in a particular order, particular fashion, and leave the sticky end, and from that sticky end we can join the another piece of DNA by the help of the ligase enzyme. Now we will talk about the Cohen experiment. Cohen actually working on the extra chromosomal DNA that found in the certain bacteria that is called the plasmid, and he studied the plasmid. This is the extra chromosomal DNA that found in the many bacteria, and this extra chromosomal DNA or plasmid have ability to self-replicate, independently replicate, not dependent upon the nuclear DNA or genomic DNA. They have capacity to independently replicate, means plasmid has its own origin of replication. He also studied that the method to take out the plasmid from the bacteria, and also he developed the method and studied the technique and method to transfer into the another cell. So this is the another technique that developed by the Cohen, that he developed the method for taking out the plasmid from a bacteria and insert into the another bacteria. So if a alien piece of DNA or desired piece of DNA is attached with that plasmid DNA and then transferred into the E. coli or any host cell, so because in the plasmid there is the origin of replication, it provides the origin of replication, and along with the plasmid that alien piece of DNA would also replicate, increase their number, and passes to the progeny generation after generation. That helps in the production of the industrial product. So that is the first instance we were talking about, that how the first recombinant DNA created by the scientists. This is the two scientists, Boyer and Cohen, and both combined their technique together, and they together created the first recombinant DNA in 1972. What they did in this process, now we will discuss. Actually, they identified a antibiotic resistance gene in the plasmid of a bacteria. Actually, there are in the many bacteria, there is the property of antibiotic resistance property found. So they identified a antibiotic resistance gene in the plasmid of a bacteria, and because they have the technique to take out that gene, so they take out that gene, and now that after that they combine that antibiotic resistance gene with another plasmid from the Salmonella typhimurium. Salmonella bacteria, this is another bacteria. So they take out the plasmid of Salmonella typhimurium. Also they take out the antibiotic resistance gene from the plasmid of another bacteria, and they combine these two gene or two piece of DNA, means they combine this antibiotic resistance gene with the plasmid of Salmonella typhimurium. How they combined? So actually they used the restriction enzyme to cut the both DNA, that is the foreign DNA as well as the vector DNA, that plasmid in which we are going to attach this alien piece of DNA, that acts as the vector or carrier to transfer the alien DNA into the host cell. So here they combined this antibiotic resistance gene with the plasmid of this Salmonella typhimurium. They use the restriction enzyme to cut the both DNA, that is the foreign DNA as well as this plasmid DNA, and in the both this restriction enzyme cut the DNA in a particular fashion to leave the sticky end, and after that they joins these two DNA by the help of the ligase enzyme, that is the recombinant DNA. And then after they transferred this recombinant DNA having the antibiotic resistance gene in the plasmid of Salmonella. They transferred this recombinant DNA into the E. coli. In the E. coli. And they observed that in the E. coli this alien piece of DNA replicate, increase their number, that is called the gene cloning, means passes from one generation to another generation. So this was the first instance for the creation of an artificial recombinant DNA by the Boyer and the Cohen, and both united their techniques, their methods, and they created the first recombinant DNA in which they joined a antibiotic resistance gene with a plasmid of Salmonella, and then after joining by the help of ligase enzyme they joined, and then they transferred this recombinant DNA into the E. coli, and where they observed that in the E. coli this alien piece of DNA is replicating along with the plasmid DNA. This Salmonella and E. coli is the similar bacteria, that's why they that plasmid they transferred into the E. coli. Thank you.